Hey guys, welcome back. We're at FUT-IQ, and I just wanted to really quickly talk about the English squad for the 2026 World Cup. Thomas Tuchel has made his choices, and he has picked the players that he thinks could bring England back to glory, or not even back to glory, but maybe make it so that they can at least make it to the finals this time. I think it's a bit controversial what Thomas Tuchel has done this time around. He is, I think, one of the first, if not the first, non-English manager to be in charge of this English team. And I think he's made some pretty big calls this time around. There's some big names that are missing from my point of view. Harry Maguire is not in the list. I'm pretty sure he was the captain in the last World Cup, or one of the captains. So I think that's a pretty big call from him, especially since I do believe Harry Maguire had a decent season with Manchester United. I don't think he's elite, but I do think if you look at some of the names that he has brought to the World Cup, I think that he is definitely someone who would bring a lot of experience and a captain, honestly. So we're just gonna go through the list, I guess, and you guys will see who's missing. So to begin, he brought as goalkeepers Dean Henderson from Palace, Jordan Pickford from Everton, and James Trafford from Manchester City. Overall, I think those are pretty good picks. Maybe you could have taken Nick Pope, but other than that, I think those three are pretty solid. I'm assuming Pickford's going to start. Defenders, Dan Burn from Newcastle, Mark Gahey from City, Reece James from Chelsea, Ezri Konsa from Villa, Livramento from Newcastle, Nico O'Reilly from City, Kwanzaa from Bayern Leverkusen, Jed Spence from Tottenham, and John Stones from City. Now, let's start with the defenders. Again, like I said, the big name here is Harry Maguire. There's other defenders like Bukayo Tomori. Tomori maybe didn't have the best season with AC Milan, but you look at some of the picks here for center backs, and I think the one that I guess sticks out the most out of all of them that is good, or really good, is Mark Gahey. Konsa and Dan Burn are okay, but a bit questionable at times. I think Tomori is faster than both of them. And definitely, I think Harry Maguire can bring more to the table than both of those players. Kwanzaa, I think, is a player that was brought out of Liverpool, who went to Bayern Leverkusen. I know him because of FIFA or EA, but other than that, I haven't seen him play much. So I don't really know if he's had a good season at Bayern Leverkusen or not. But then I'm looking at Nico O'Reilly, who's had a good season at City. I'm assuming he's going to be the starting left back. Livramento, he's a good player, but I would have rather seen the other Newcastle player. I'm trying to remember his name. Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall, I think, should have been in the squad over Livramento. Definitely over Spence. I do think Spence is a good player, but Tottenham has had a terrible season, and he does play on that team. Not everything that went wrong with Tottenham was his fault, obviously, but I think he isn't better or even as good as Hall. I think Hall is a better player. I think Trent is a better player. Trent not being in the squad, I think, is crazy. I understand maybe defensively he's not the strongest, but I think he provides a lot of good through balls, great crosses, great free kicks. So I don't understand how Spence and Livramento are ahead of him. Reece James is a solid option, a really good option in my opinion at right back, but Reece James could also play a CDM. Obviously we know Reece James gets injured a lot, so if he gets injured, then you're going to start Spence or Livramento at right back. To me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially over Trent, but these are the decisions that the coach has made. John Stones at City, I don't remember a single game where John Stones played for City this season. I'm sure he did, but I don't think he should have been going to the World Cup, and especially over Maguire or Tomori. But again, these are the choices that Thomas has made. Midfielders, just to go through them real quick: Elliot Anderson from Forest, Jude Bellingham from Real Madrid, Eberechi from Arsenal, Jordan Henderson from Brentford, Kobe Mainu from Manchester United, and Declan Rice from Arsenal, and Morgan Rogers from Villa. Now, obviously, England is stacked here in the midfielder category, and I believe that they have been for a very long time. England have had really good midfielders, Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes. And honestly, even with those three playing at around the same time, they never really got to like kind of understand or figure out how to play all three of them together. Sometimes they'd be pushing Scholes out wide, which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But with these midfielders, obviously Cole Palmer is out, Morgan Gibbs-White is out, Bowen is out. I think that's a bit crazy. I think, some of those players could also play like right wing or right mid or left mid, but they could also play as cams. And I believe that maybe Thomas here is thinking, Bellingham at cam or Eze at cam, but I don't understand why he's bringing Jordan Henderson. Now, I remember hearing in the tournament before this one, I think in the Euros, they were saying that Jordan Henderson's like a captain here in this team, in the squad, and that he brings a lot of experience. And I understand all of that, but he's a player who's obviously a little bit older. I understand that if that's your excuse or if that's the reason why you're bringing him, then why are you not bringing Harry Maguire? Jordan Henderson has played at Brentford quite a bit. He's not a bad player, but come on. Palmer's a lot better. I definitely think that Bowen has had a better season than him. I think he offers a lot more to the table, especially going forward. And then definitely Morgan Gibbs-White had a great season. Eze had a good season, I guess, at Arsenal. Had a good first season there. Mainu, I understand Mainu. He's a young player who has a lot of talent. I understand Rice. Rice is great. Morgan Rogers is great. But I do question like Elliot Anderson. He had a good season, but there's also Wharton. There's a lot of players here that maybe could have taken those spots instead of these players that are probably going to be subs. But then we go to the forwards, and this is where I think maybe he's made a mistake. So he brings Anthony Gordon from Newcastle. Harry Kane from Bayern, Madueke from Arsenal, Rashford from Barcelona, Bukayo Saka from Arsenal, and Ivan Toney from Al Ahly, and Ollie Watkins from Villa. Now, here's where it gets interesting for me. I think Gordon is a very fast player. He had an okay start of the season, but he hasn't done much, honestly, with Newcastle. They're a mid-table team. I understand Chelsea are also a mid-table team, but come on. Palmer has so much more to offer than Anthony Gordon. Again, Morgan Gibbs-White has so much more to offer. Even out wide, you could play Morgan Gibbs-White as a left wing. He's got a great shot. He's a really good passer of the ball. Obviously, Bowen over Madueke any day of the week, in my opinion. I think Bowen has had like 3 or 4 seasons with 20 goals and assists in the Premier League with West Ham. West Ham's going down a division, guys. West Ham's getting relegated. This guy's been carrying West Ham for years now, in my opinion. And it's very disrespectful, in my opinion, for Thomas Tuchel to choose Nani Madueke over him, over Palmer, even over Morgan Gibbs-White. And, immediately after Thomas Tuchel gave this list out, people were obviously questioning, oh my gosh, I forgot Phil Foden. Phil Foden didn't have a great season with City, but I do believe he had just as of the same of a season as Madueke or as Anthony Gordon, even Saka. I understand I'll probably get a lot of hate if anyone even watches all these videos that's a fan of Arsenal. Saka is an okay player. He's mid, he's overhyped. He had a decent end of the season where he scored a couple of goals, assisted a couple of goals, but he has not had a great season. And anyone who believes he's had a great season, I just think doesn't know ball. I can agree that Palmer didn't have a great season either. And honestly, maybe I would have left Cole Palmer out, or I would have brought him as a sub. I'm not saying Palmer should start because I'm a Chelsea fan, but I do think that he is a better player and brings more to the table in big moments than Anthony Gordon, than Madueke, than Saka. I think I agree with bringing Rashford over Palmer, over Morgan Gibbs-White, over Bowen, but these other 3 players are very questionable. You could have brought Foden. Foden had the same season as Madueke, a very similar season to Gordon. If you guys want to look at the stats, I got my computer here. We can look at the stats. Nani Madueke, let's see, this season he had 8 goals. With his entire Arsenal career, he's had 8 goals. And this season in the Prem, he had 3 goals and 1 assist. Cole Palmer, 10 goals and 1 assist. Jared Bowen, 9 goals, 11 assists. Phil Foden, 7 goals, 5 assists. It's not just my opinion, guys. Numbers don't lie. These are the numbers. You're bringing on Madueke. I'm assuming, I mean, after bringing the list out, he did say like, oh, just your name doesn't, it shouldn't carry that much weight. If you haven't had a good season, then, like that's why you didn't make it. That was kind of his excuse for not bringing some of the players that he's left out. But I mean, Thomas Tuchel can't look at anyone in the eyes and say, oh, Noni Madueke had a great season. He didn't. I believe that he's bringing him because Arsenal won the league, and there's a couple of Arsenal players there that he probably believes that bringing Madueke will make the vibes better for them. I don't understand. I don't know if there's something behind the scenes where some of these players have beef or something. I don't think so, and I honestly don't think it would matter. I mean, one thing is hating each other during the season. I remember Lampard, Gerrard. I'm assuming they didn't like each other when they played against each other in their teams, but when they got together to play in their nation, I'm assuming that they were all okay. I just don't understand how you bring Madueke, how you bring Gordon and not bring Palmer or Foden, Morgan Gibbs-White, Bowen. In a video earlier, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I had said that you had to bring Bowen. And obviously he has picked not to. He brought Ivan Toney. I understand he plays as a striker. Same as Ollie Watkins and Harry Kane. Obviously Harry Kane's going to start. So, I mean, you're looking at a starting lineup for England. I think very realistic. A realistic choice would be, Pickford at goal, left back O'Reilly, center backs Guehi and Kunza, right back Reece James. So I don't think that's the best defense out there, honestly. Then a midfield of probably, this is what I'm assuming he's going to start with, Declan Rice, Bellingham, and Rodgers. I'm assuming. Forwards, I guess he's going to start Gordon at left wing, maybe, or Rashford, actually. Rashford at left wing, Kane, and then probably on the right, Saka. I'm assuming that's what he's going for. I saw there's a lot of posts on Instagram making fun of his squad, and they put in 11 of the players that he can pick from that he chose to bring to the World Cup, and then 11 of the players that he's left out. And I think that the 11 of the players that he's left out would beat the 11 that he's brought. I genuinely think that. So yeah, it's a bit crazy. I mean, some people are saying that Thomas Tuchel is taking revenge of what England did to Germany in World War II. Obviously, that's just a joke, but I don't know. I don't think I agree with Thomas here. I think he's a great coach. Obviously, he did pretty good at Chelsea. He did great, in fact. And I think he's a solid coach, but definitely some questionable choices that he's made here, leaving out some very important players out of the squad. And, we'll see what England does if England can bring it home. I mean, I find that hard to believe, honestly, with this squad. I don't think that he's taken the best that English has to offer. That England has to offer. But hey, I guess we'll see. I'm not sure what kind of style of football they're going to be bringing. But we'll get to see that in the World Cup. And I just wanted to quickly talk about it. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.